Texas in the category of short sermon as he comes to preach.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation. I have a dream. These are all powerful words, memorable words, words that moved nations and words that impassioned people. But they're all just ordinary words from gifted people. John chapter 1 says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Through Him all things were made, and without Him nothing was made that has been made. The light shines in the darkness, but the darkness has not understood it. The Word became flesh and made His dwelling among us." Words are powerful. Words have meaning. Words raise up and words destroy. But there is no word like the extraordinary Word of God. The Word of God creates. The verse says, "Through Him all things are made." In the creation story in Genesis chapter 1, we find the words, "And God said." And God said, "Let there be light," and there was. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven gather together," and the waters gathered. And God said, "Let us make man in our own image," and there was man. We find "and God said" 8 times in this chapter. Each time something that did not exist previously came into existence. Every time God created something, He called it good. The Word of God creates good things, extraordinary things. The Word of God changes things. The verse says, "The Word became flesh and made His dwelling among us," and then it says, "The light shines in the darkness." The Word changes situations from hopeless to hopeful. The Word spoke and turned water into wine. The Word spoke and calmed a storm. The Word spoke and the blind could see. The Word spoke and demons scattered. The Word spoke and raised the dead. The Word of God causes nature, circumstances, and even people to change. Our world is crying out for change, but the change they want is not the change they need. The change they need will not come from schools. The change they need will not come from charities. The change they need will not come from Wall Street, and the change they need will not come from our president. The change they need comes from the Word of God. The extraordinary Word of God brings about extraordinary change. And the Word of God completes. The verse says, "Without Him, nothing was made that has been made." This indicates a complete work. 1 John 2:5 says that if we obey His word, we can be made complete in Him. Jesus, the living Word, completed His task when on the cross He took His last breath and said, "It is finished." But in the last book of our Bible, we see the extraordinary Word depicted in His full majestic glory, clothed in a white robe, sitting on a white horse with fire blazing in each eye. The verse says He was clothed with a robe dipped in blood, and His name is called the Word of God. The Word of God contains 66 books written by 40 different authors. It has been translated in over 1,200 different languages. It has over 1,200 promises in the Bible and over 8,000 predictions. Yet preachers try to preach without it. People try to live without it. Churches try to thrive without it, and America is dying without it. Wars have been waged over it. Kingdoms have been built upon it. Some try to destroy it, and others try to silence it. Many ignore its power, but it's a living organism with the power to create, change, and complete people's lives. The Word of God demands a response from you. What will you do with it? Are you content to just keep it on the shelf? Or will you allow it to have the full potential in your life? Do what you will with it. The Word was in the beginning. It will be in the end. And it shall ever be extraordinary.
Great job, buddy. Great job.